Thanks, Gordon.
China's regime is attacking America. Joe Biden's not defending us. American elites are not defending us. But we have some great defenders like Bill Haggerty. Senator, thank you for defending our country.
Thank you so much.
I want to start with the most consequential issue of our time, and that is Chinese ruler Xi Jinping is preparing for war. He's sponsored the biggest military buildup since the Second World War. He's declared his war cabinet, and he is preparing China's civilians for war. But we need someone to help us and protect us. Why isn't the White House doing that?
It's amazing to me that the Biden administration hasn't learned the most fundamental lesson from the Trump administration. And President Trump understood this clearly, that to deal with China, to deal with communist China, you must deal from a position of absolute strength. And what the Biden administration has done is try to negotiate from a position of weakness. And I've said this before, Gordon, if you asked someone to solve the equation where China wins every time and the U.S. loses every time, at every instant, the Biden administration would get an A+ on that paper. They seem to be solving in favor of China and putting us at a disadvantage. Somehow they must believe that by turning the other cheek, that's going to make China turn our way. That's absolutely not the case.
We know that China's attacking us with fentanyl. And when we have the statistics for next year, or last year, it'll be about 80,000 Americans have died from doses of illegal Chinese fentanyl. I know that you've been passionate about this issue and you've got legislation on this. If you can explain.
Indeed. I've been concerned about the fentanyl crisis for years. When I was the U.S. ambassador to Japan, I was literally on the phone with the White House staff as President Trump was meeting with President Xi, telling him not to ship fentanyl into the United States. Xi agreed to that, but he didn't agree to stop sending the precursors. Those precursor chemicals now are flowing into Mexico. The CCP are tied to these cartels. They are working together to create this poison that they're shoving across our borders, using these billion-dollar illegal drug cartels, their partners in Mexico, to do it. They are killing American kids. You think about the violation of our sovereignty that everyone was upset about when the CCP balloon floated over America. Well, the CCP is violating our sovereignty every single day when they kill our youth here in America. And make no mistake, Gordon, a CCP fingerprint is on every one of those fentanyl pills that comes across. Their fingerprint is on every death certificate that has to be signed for our youth.
The Chinese regime maintains a total surveillance state, so they know what these fentanyl gangs are doing. And these fentanyl gangs actually launder their proceeds through the Chinese state banking system. I imagine this must affect people in Tennessee.
Oh, the fentanyl crisis is affecting Tennessee in a severe manner. Every day I talk to sheriffs across the state. They tell me that this month is worse than the month before it. And the hardest call that any of them have to make is to a mother or a grandmother saying that your son or daughter or your grandson or daughter is not coming home because somehow they accidentally connected with this vicious drug. Something has to be done about it, and I've tried to do something about it, Gordon. Last year, 3 times I went to the floor of the Senate with my legislation that would modify Title 42. Title 42 gives our Customs and Border Patrol the ability, the last tool, frankly, that they have left, based on health concerns, to turn away people at the border, illegal immigrants that otherwise would enter. Biden has already said he wants to do away with the pandemic as the excuse, but the biggest health crisis we face, again, to put it into perspective, the biggest killer of young people in America between the ages of 18 and 45 right now is drug overdose. And again, the majority of it, fentanyl coming across our southern border. So I modified Title 42 to add concern about drug trafficking, fentanyl trafficking coming across the border. It's the Stop Fentanyl Border Crossings Act.